Okay, so I needed a scene change. Let me try this again. Hi, my name is Juliana Lesko, and this video is a long time coming. I've been wanting to make a video for about 2 years now on my journey on my weight loss. To put some perspective into this, I used to weigh a whole lot, or at least it's shown a whole lot. I used to weigh 136 pounds, and if you're my height, which is 5'2", you would know that the smaller you are in height and stature, the more the weight really shows. So I came to a realization that I wanted a change in my lifestyle. It started to affect my health. See, I have borderline diabetes, so my skin really took an effect, or it really took a notice to the weight. My feet started getting bruising and scarring, and if you're borderline diabetic, scars don't really heal normally like they're supposed to. So it really shown that I needed to make some sort of change to my lifestyle, and the first thing that needed to go was my weight. I really did three simple things that made me lose this weight super fast, and it was quite shocking to me. But the first thing was my mindset. I had to change my mindset completely. I wasn't happy, right? I wasn't happy with the weight that I got on, you know. Really, honestly, I call it the college 20, because it was when I was in UCF up in Orlando, and you know, when you're on your own and you're trying things for the first time, you gain a lot of weight because you don't really have anyone saying, you know, maybe that's not the wisest choice to eat right now, or watching and restricting your diet for you, like how parents would. So I gained all this weight and I wasn't happy, so I knew that if I wanted to lose the weight just as I gained it, I have to get into the right mindset of appreciation. I needed to appreciate every bump, curve, crevice that I had at that moment. And as I go through and lose the weight, appreciate those stages and times too. Here's the big thing, and I feel like I want to say this first before I do the exercise. Diet. A lot of this stuff happened accidentally, and I'm just gonna say now, I'm not a doctor. I just did some slight research like anyone else could, and I applied it. The first thing I want to apply is intermittent fasting, right? I've done this completely by accident. So here's how it went. I'm not a breakfast eater. I never liked breakfast. Breakfast to me is just nauseating. But I knew that in order to have energy to go to the gym, you need to eat. So what I did was, maybe if I put my breakfast into a liquid form, it'd be more beneficial. So I bought a juicer. I bought an Omega something. I have something different now, that's why I don't remember. But I had back then an Omega something, and I used to juice daily. I used to juice anything that I had inside of my fridge. You know, celery, parsley even, kale, spinach, an apple for taste, carrots, you name it. So I used to juice that, and I used to drink it before starting my day. But some juices can have a very strong presence in your stomach. That's the best way I can explain it. It was just, some of them were gnarly. But it was gnarly not to the fact like, oh, like it's gonna make me sick gnarly, but more like I feel full, I feel content. So I drink this juice, and probably couldn't be no more than, I don't know, 60 calories for a whole huge pitcher of it. But I would drink this juice and I'd go on with my day, and I wouldn't really think about food at all. And then that's when I realized I was really practicing intermittent fasting, because I would skip over lunch with just that juice and be a-okay. I'd even exercise with just that juice in my system and I'd be fine. If I was hungry, if there was ever a chance I was hungry, I'd be like, oh, okay, I can have a snack. Snacks now, I had to cut out. I had to cut out the fatty snacks, I had to cut out the chips. I had to do that in the very beginning because I needed some discipline. So snacks would have consisted of really some cheddar cheese or a plum, and I'd have that if I was hungry. But really, honestly, because of those juices, I was rarely hungry at a time. I'd find myself having so much energy too with those nutrients that are inside of those vegetables that I was able to exercise actually twice a day. Twice a day, I know sounds crazy, but it was only 20 minutes altogether, really. It was 10 minutes cardio and then 10 minutes of my own strength. So I want to tie it all back into intermittent fasting, right? So if you do some slight research, you know that Harvard has been studying on intermittent fasting. There's a lot of different articles on it. And one thing that really stood out to me, it was exactly how it works. And it seems very logical onto why you would lose weight with this tactic. So basically how it works is you go a distance or a time slot without eating anything solid, right? So when you do this, you start activating insulin into your body. This insulin goes into your cells and start attacking the stored fat that you have already there. So it starts using then that stored fat into usable energy. So you're burning that stored fat that's very hard to reach. It can never be reached because you're always putting more new, fresher fat into your system by foods that you eat, good fat, bad fat, any fat, into your body, and it's just targeting that instead of targeting what's already stored. So by intermittent fasting, you're really attacking all that stored fat cells. And you can see how this can make you lose weight fast. And as you can see, I lost weight drastically. This was just a downward slope. It was just going fast and quick. But let's get back to snacking. Snacking in the very beginning, it's not too hard to say, but once you do the whole juicing experience, you don't really care about snacking, and you really shouldn't. I felt like snacking was the first thing to go. Only because if I did snack, I didn't reach for something that was beneficial for me, like an apple or what else did I used to have that was beneficial? Celery and hummus, or plum and cheddar. I love plum and cheddar, best combination ever. I didn't reach for anything like that. I reached for sweets, I reached for donuts, I reached for boba. I reached for a lot of different things that just weren't beneficial for me at that time. And in the very beginning stages, you need that discipline in you to lose that weight. Another thing I had to cut was sugary drinks. Now, overall, I was never really, this wasn't hard for me because I was never a sugary drink type of person. I always liked water. I only ever drank water. Probably some wine now and then. But I really, honestly, that wasn't hard. But I do know for a fact that a lot of sugary drinks hold a lot of calories. And it's just best to just cut that out because it's unnecessary. And plus you need the water anyways, because while that you're juicing and doing all this stuff, it's a natural detox to you. And that water will just kind of help translate it to your skin and have a glowing radiant as a side bonus. Discipline. So for discipline for me, I knew that in the very early stages, I needed something or someone to hold me accountable for what I put in my mouth. Because really, honestly, the whole weight loss journey was at 80-20. 80% of my diet, 20% of the exercise. So the thing that held me accountable was MyFitnessPal, which I feel like everybody kind of knows about or at least heard about. But MyFitnessPal, my gosh, it takes the weight off accountability completely. If you're consistent with this and you use this daily, you would see some major changes in your diet because it customizes from your sex, your height, exactly what you're trying to achieve, your level of activity. It just customizes it completely, and it just helps alleviate that tension of, you know, something else holds you accountable. So you don't really have to think about it. So with using MyFitnessPal, I was able to track my calorie intake for that day or those days. And I was noticing, you know, I was skipping over lunch and my calories were super low. That's when I was able to have a really good dinner. And by dinner, by staying into my calorie intake goal that MyFitnessPal set up for me, but I was able to eat things that I wanted. I wasn't depriving myself. If I wanted a double cheeseburger for that time, I treated myself to a double cheeseburger if I could afford it at that time with the calories that I had left. So I wasn't having cravings. I wasn't having these stages of deprivation, you know, of, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm restricting myself and I'm not living. I didn't have those moments because I was really able to eat what I wanted, when I wanted, if I followed what I did in the beginning with the intermittent fasting, the juicing, and the exercise. So I'm looking at myself dropping weight like nothing, and I'm seeing myself eating what I want. It became sustainable. Okay, so I felt like I needed to show you guys exactly some exercises that I've done in the very beginning. I kind of don't do this anymore because now I'm way more confident to be stepping into the gym and just doing my own thing. But these exercises I found were kind of the rolling pin of this exercise frenzy that I got into, right? So this is a very quick and easy one that you can do actually in your bed. So you lay down flat, right? Feet up. Hopefully you guys can see this properly. Let's just adjust. Here, right, touching your butt. Up and out. You're extending now. You're going to cross your ankle, and now you're going to squat in. Just like that. So those are the tips and tricks. So those are the tips and tricks of how I lost all this weight super fast. Basically now I'm at a point where I kind of want to elevate it. I want to add some muscle to myself. I want to tone myself even more. And again, I have to change my mindset, change my diet, and change my fitness all over again. So it's always an evolving process. But that, what I just shared with you, was kind of the starter pack of things. It's how everything began. And it was super useful for me. So here I am hoping that it's going to be useful for you. And it's been 2 years now, and I went from a size 10 to a size 0. So, I mean, to me it works. And I haven't gained the weight back since, and it's just been such an easy process. Hopefully, for this next stage in life that I'm going to with all this muscle I'm trying to build, it can be just as easy. Who knows? We'll find out. I'll let you guys post it on how that goes. But this is just for those that want that kickstart. You know, you want that start of a new chapter in your life, and hopefully I just gave it to you. Thank you for listening, and bye.